A difficult idea to express, I've found, and well, for people to wrap their heads around. Um, I think that's part of the reason that it's difficult to express because it's difficult in a way to understand. But this idea I want to share with you is only difficult to understand if you are unconnected from silence, if you're not feeling that energy of life and aware of that energy of life moving through you. The what I want to share with you revolves around a question that I often hear, and it's sort of a general question about really what's the value, the benefit of doing mind exercise, sort of specifically to me, here and now. And the reason that that's difficult to explain when you're not connected to silence is really the answer to that question, right? When you're connected to silence, this is a internal experience that you have. It's a state that you dropped into is one way to think about it. And that state is different from being not connected and aware, connected to silence, the energy flowing through you, and aware of that life that's flowing through you. So when you connect to that state and embody that state, then the answer to the question is within that state, in the sense, practically speaking, that in your life, on a ongoing basis, when you are connected to that state, you are far more open to the range of experience that's available to you. And the more you can access a fuller range of experience that is available to you as a human being in any moment, the more open, happy, alive, fulfilled, the more aligned you are with your purpose, the better it feels. And if you think about this sort of biologically from an evolutionary standpoint, the more aligned you are with the life that you're inhabiting, the more able you are to process your environment and interact with your environment in ways that are sustainable, both on a personal and in a whatever level that you find is important to you when you've accessed that state of silence, when you know yourself as energy and you know that energy is flowing through you each moment to produce you. When you understand, you really wrap your mind around that idea that that's what you fundamentally are. That's sort of the miracle that's happening, that's becoming you. When you really grasp onto that concept, you're not just grasping onto a concept. What you're really doing also is expanding your experience into that reality, into the world that is created by that reality. So when you understand yourself as a bubbling, evolving miracle, then you become more of that miracle. Your awareness is more integrated with that reality that you are. So, and when that happens, everything that you process, everyone that you speak to, everyone that you have a conversation with, every choice that you make, and remember these choices that we're making on an ongoing moment to moment basis throughout every day are dictating our experience of tomorrow. Right? They are the seeds of tomorrow's life. And so where you end up tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, is directly influenced by your capacity to drop into stillness, connect to the silence, the life flowing through you, so that you can expand your access to the world that you live in and make those decisions, choices that lead you to the places that you want to go when you are your best self, when you're in the place where you are most feeling connected to who you want to become. So, I get a little excited when I talk about that stuff. In the part of the reason for that, recognize this is also a good part of the reason that we do mind exercise in general, is when you start to speak about that truth of your life, you also, by speaking, by the mechanism of bringing those thoughts in your head and speaking them, you are also bringing yourself into alignment with that state, with that connection to silence. And you see by that example of how integrated this all is, right? How integrated it is when you think the thoughts that are connected to your highest truth and reality, and you speak those thoughts, and you also therefore embody the state that those thoughts are associated with. That's why we do mind exercise. That's why we do these mind exercise preparation talks. It brings us into connection with a place of depth within ourselves. That's a great place to begin mind exercise from, because the more connected you are to silence as we begin, the more the depth and intensity of the experience of the mind exercise will be, and therefore, as we know from the brain science, the more substantive and sustaining the changes that occur within your cells by doing mind exercise are. So, with that, let's get on with some mind exercise.